Live from the City of Angels here on Thursday night. It's our MMT box office preview show, and this is going to be a little bit of a very depressing stream. How about that start? It's a little bit of a very depressing stream. I just got out of the new horror film In a Violent Nature. We'll discuss that momentarily, but I have to address this right off the bat before we get to that evaluation. And you can tell I'm sad, man. I mean, look, I'm walking out of the theater here tonight, AMC Burbank, as you guys know, one of the number one AMC locations in the entire country. If this theater is dead, trust me, AMC in Des Moines, Dayton, Wichita, they're all dead too. They're more dead. So if this looks like what you're looking on your screen right now, an empty, completely empty lobby on a Thursday night, theatrical's in big trouble, guys. I mean, I'm going to talk about this movie, this Skinamarink Friday the 13th, in a minute. But this is not something that I wish to see. I never wanted to see what I'm looking at when I walked out of the theater, out of, frankly, a very depressing film as well. So it's a 1-2 punch. I got smashed in the face and then in the nuts on the way out as I saw this. And this was taken, by the way, at 7:20. I'm walking out of the theater. This is not at like 2 in the afternoon. This is at 7:20. There's not a single person in the shot. I didn't frame it like that. I didn't wait for people to leave. This is how dead it is. It's what I talked about on Sunday night. Theatrical is on the ropes. And all you AMC shills, wake up. You need to tell your CEO to get in the grill of these studios and get some windows in place. Maybe not a 90-day window, because that's not going to happen. But you're not going to let these studios have these 0 windows where they have things on streaming in 10 days, 17 days, 3 weeks. This is why you see what you see on your screen. And I'm angry. You AMC shills should be pissed off at your $20 million a year plus CEO doing jack shit. And that's what we get. This. Because you have an old, kick him to the fucking curb CEO doing jack shit for your company. I hope your stock goes to 1 cent, maybe 2. You deserve it for doing nothing. CEO of AMC should be out on his ass. I'll go in there tomorrow and get this shit corrected. This is garbage. Stop being a shill for AMC and go after your CEO and tell him to do something, because this is what we're dealing with. Empty theaters. Because you have done nothing to protect these films. You're allowing the studios to put them on streaming in 25 days. What am I saying? 17. 5. Day and date. Remember Five Nights at Freddy's? Day and fucking date. Yeah, I didn't even want to do this tonight. I was just going to hang out and talk about In a Violent Nature. And guess what? I'm in a violent nature. Because your shit $25+ million a year CEO doesn't have the balls to go to these studios and say, give me a 45+ day window on these films. And until you have that CEO, we're going to get effed over and over and over. And I don't even know if we're going to go to movie theaters, because they're going to start closing. You see the one just closed in the Bronx? There's now one movie theater in the Bronx. This isn't a joke. Yeah, the country's going to hell. All the Trump shit, all that. Guys, I listen, we can only focus on one thing. And all I'm focusing on is what you see here. And this is disgraceful. You gave us no good movies this weekend, and then the ones you put in theaters, you allow them to put on streaming in 17 days. You train the audiences, just wait, you'll get it at home. That's what you've done. But your CEO making a ton more money than I'm making. Doesn't do shit. Bring me in. I'll get this shit sorted out tomorrow. I told you the conference call would have been on Tuesday morning. We had the stream on Sunday. I said Tuesday morning. I want everyone on the horn. I want Paramount, Sony, Warner Brothers, Disney. I want Universal. I want IFC. I want Sony Pictures Classic. I want A24. I want Neon. I want Vertical. I want all of them on the phone. Here's what's happening. 45-day window or you're out. End of discussion. You're either in or you're out starting August 1st. But no, we have to deal with this shit. Nobody at the movies. I just wanted to talk about this horror film tonight. And then this is what happened to Leah. I mean, do you blame me for being angry? If we had more people that were pissed off like me, maybe we'd do something. Maybe something would happen. Heads would roll. No, but they would totally would. People would go, are you kidding? If I went in there tomorrow, I would start cutting people right and left at AMC, at studios everywhere. There's too many fucking idiots in positions of power in this world, and they all need to be set on their ass. Packing. You don't have talent. You don't have ability. Get out of my line of sight. And Aron. Dude, have you ever sat through one of his intros to those early access screenings? He drones on and on and on. I don't even think he knows what he's talking about. I don't even think he goes to the movies because he gets paid $25 million. He's not a real movie fan like I am. He's not here on a Thursday night railing on the fact that there's no theatrical windows. No. He's all cush, probably in the Hamptons, hanging out with the summer, doing his thing, not even giving a shit that it looks like this at his flagship AMC here in L.A. It's an embarrassment. Sodfic, it's an absolute embarrassment. 45 days is the only thing that I think we can get at this point because Aron and the rest of these CEOs haven't done shit to get these studios in line. Why is everyone so afraid of the studios? You want to see how much power the studios have these days? Look at The Woman in the Sea. Is it The Young Woman in the Sea? Whatever it's called. The Disney movie this weekend, nobody's going to see that. Nobody even cares about the Disney brand anymore. Anyone noticing? In the past, you would put that out, Disney, and that thing would sell at least $10 million, maybe $20 million in tickets. It'll be lucky to get $4, $5, $6 million this weekend. Disney's brand is in the shitter. These studios don't have power. Go to them and tell them we demand 45. Make it 60 days because I'm pissed off. That's now, forget 45. It's now 60. Play ball or get the hell out of here. All right, guys, I want to do an evaluation. Let's do it. This stream and this show is what it is. I was like, I don't know if I even want to do. And then I saw that and I go, okay, fine, I'll do a reaction stream because they're more fun to do live than they are to tape because I can just go off and do whatever I want to do like I always do. Welcome to MMT. Those of you who've never been here, you are just treated to pretty much what happens every single time we go live here on YouTube. Give me a like, subscribe if you've not already. Tonight we're talking about In a Violent Nature. Some 9 minutes into the stream, we are into the evaluation I promised in the thumbnail, but please forgive me and allow me and indulge me to go off on AMC for not getting these studios in line and protecting films. Now, In a Violent Nature, if you ask me, what's the pitch in the elevator? It is Friday the 13th, only Skinnamarink. I know for a lot of you, you're going, I don't want any part of this shit. Because when I say Skinnamarink, you are thinking to yourself, oh God, that was painful. Now, here's the thing. For me, I always like a film that tries to do something different, to break the norm, to be artistic. I have no problem with being patient with films. Now, while Skinnamarink definitely wore thin over that 90-minute runtime, I really like the fact that that's so experimental and so batshit weird. And in this case, the same kind of imprints going on here as you have a Jason Voorhees knockoff walking around in the woods as he is slaughtering random teenagers vacationing at an Airbnb. Now, it sounds a little like Winnie the Pooh, the horror film. Only this is better. And I think the reason that it's a stronger film is that you have that artistic integrity and the weirdness to it. It's hypnotically slow. This director apparently is a fan of slow cinema, and I see that. You'll see that when you watch In a Violent Nature. For me, not a problem. For some of the people in my screening, there were 15 of us. They were bored. You could tell they were thrashing around. They were getting up, going to the restroom because this film takes its leisurely time. But when it finally does what you want in a horror film to do and go super violent and super graphic and super gruesome with the kills, this film gives you that. Multiple beheadings. There's a really intense, long scene involving a wood chipper of some sort. And all I'll say is the reason that it works even more than it really should is because of the direction style here. I'm going to give you a taste of the film right now. This is the trailer for In a Violent Nature, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about when you watch just a little taste of this trailer. Here it is. Score you hear is only in the trailer. There's no score in the film. It is minimal filmmaking. There's your Jason Voorhees knockoff. And it's shot from the killer's point of view. You're behind him the entire film virtually. It's an IFC film, same thing as Skinamarink. And there goes Jason as he stalks people around in the forest and comes up on different locations as he picks them off. And then once the kills come, there's at least 4 or 5 super gruesome Terrifier kind of things. This is not NC-17. Doesn't have a rating, so it really should be NC-17. It's not R, because when I'm watching this movie and I'm like, wait a second, this is not even R. This is way beyond that. Just like Terrifier, they released it without a rating. In the past, that wouldn't even be able to get screens at an AMC or a Regal, but as such, now that things have changed, you can get away with that, and that's what this film is, because it is, trust me, when it gets violent, it gets hella violent. The problems with the film, very simply, simplistic screenplay. You look at Friday the 13th, okay, only done with this artistic slant of the killer's point of view and long shots. Again, going back to the Skinamarink kind of approach. You've got a camera in a location and you've got like 5 minutes of one shot, and then everything unfolds slowly from that 5-minute shot. I'm used to seeing that in plenty of indie films. But if you're not used to that and you want something like a Strangers, God, that film's terrible. This film is much more interesting than Strangers. That said, it is pretty much a one-note film. It is, again, a Skinamarink Friday the 13th, very minimal version of the slasher film done with an art house style. And I think the ending's not going to work for a lot of people. Very aloof. I think you want it to do something it doesn't without giving it away, because a lot of people say, well, you're giving the movie away, you're doing spoilers. I will just say that I think you're going to come out of this and you're going to say, I wish it would have done this, and instead it does that. And as such, I get artistically what he was thinking with this film, but I think it's going to leave you a little bit unfulfilled. As such, listen, it's a 70%. It's a CC minus. It's not the worst film that I have seen this year by any means. I like elements of it. I wish that it were just a little bit more, but that's the design. You know, it's not a film that was designed to be like a traditional garbage Winnie the Pooh slasher, that film. It's very much of, like I said, an art house take on Friday the 13th. And, you know, just buyer beware. If you're in for that, be patient. Know that that's what you're going to get. Let's go and get some comments here on this Thursday night. Thanks for being here on MMT. And we can go back to theatrical, go back to whatever you want to talk about. They did have some screenings last night of this film, and they sold out at Burbank. Tonight, dead, ghost town. You can see nobody's there because you have a really low number of people that are interested in what's in the multiplex right now. Gone Girl, does the violence ever cross into Terrifier territory? I would say yes. There was a point in the wood chipper scene where it goes, I just had to go, this isn't what I want to watch, right? I don't think it's as bad as Terrifier, but there's one scene where he disembowels a girl without telling you what happens that I just was like, that's a little too much. This is going to be more intense because this is more violent. It's, I'm glad you like Skinamarink, Josh, because it's a cool film. I listen, I defend the film. I was one of the people that recommended Skinamarink. I know people on here, Gone Girl, hated the film, but this is more accessible than Skinamarink. But as long as you know with that mindset going in that that's what you're in the realm of, then you'll be good to go. Good, there shouldn't be a score. I think of Zodiac, Fincher's Zodiac, and there's no score during the killing at the lake. It makes so much more visceral. I think we rely so much on score. A lot of directors, they play it up and they overuse it because they're trying to overcompensate from the fact the film's bad. I just watched, what was it, a few weeks ago, a film that was literally scored at every second. And it's like, that's enough. If is a great example. Not a great film. And If has that Giacchino score that is dripping all over it because Krasinski knows the film's not great. Filmmakers go to that card because they're trying to, again, overcompensate for the film not being great. And in this case, the film speaks for itself and you don't need that score, and it adds to the eeriness of it and to the suspense. I go back and I look at that film, that found footage film, Creep, that I just watched for the first time a few weeks ago. That last scene, in the whole film for that matter, there's no score. But the last scene of Creep, when they're by the lake, no score is made so much more effective by that choice. I wish more directors would take the score and turn it down, modulate down on the score, unless it's something very specific and the score's great, which is very rare. How many score composers out there that we recommend that I would say go ahead and go wild on the film? Reznor Ross, obviously, Michael Levi. You look at Johnny Greenwood. You look at, obviously, a Hans, I would say in the past more than now, but still Hans. And you look at Ludwig Göransson, right? These are all, go ahead. Carte blanche. Do whatever the hell you want. You are allowed to literally have the score from frame one to end frame. But in the majority of cases, the score is done by some generic, who is that, Lorne Balfe garbage, and you're like, what the hell, right? There's no reason for this to be here. Again, it goes back to them trying to cover up. It's like having a bad food dish and dumping a bunch of ketchup on it. Just ease up on the score. Creep is nuts. Creep's a very highly recommended film by me. Finally got around to it. I might watch Creep 2. I don't know if it's as good as Creep 1, but that's a cool horror film. If you're in for recommendations, any horror film recommendations, always hit me here. I'm good for it because there's a lot of horror films I need to catch up on, especially smaller ones. I go back to what we just talked about here tonight within a Violent Nature, Friday the 13th. I grew up, remember, in the 80s, child of the 80s, Gen X, and we had all those slasher films. I go back to My Bloody Valentine, obviously Halloween, Motel Hell, Slumber Camp Massacre. Was that the classic, the cult classic? It's Slumber Party Massacre, Slumber Camp. When you look at all of those 80s slasher films, they were so profitable. Friday the 13th made Paramount a fortune. That's why we had, how many, 8, 9, 10? I mean, you had so many of those. And those films were formative for me. I mean, I remember watching the first Friday the 13th all the way through to 3D, all the way through to the final chapter, and then I don't think I ever watched Jason X, because at that point it's like, come on, Jason in outer space, obviously Nightmare on Elm Street, so many things, Hellraiser, on and on. There's so many films, so many slasher films and horror films from the 80s, and that's really bread and butter stuff for me. So when you watch a film like this tonight and you hear me saying that I would largely recommend the film, at least checking it out, as long as you know the guidelines and what you're in for, that means a lot, because horror is kind of my wheelhouse. And listen, I'm not the horror freak, the person who's come on here and Bloody Central or something like that, bloody disgusting, but horror films I'm much more interested in than something like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes or Avatar 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd much rather watch a horror film. Typically, they're tight. Typically, they have something interesting going on, especially if you've seen this renaissance of horror films. Go back and look at David Bruckner at the Night House, went on to do Hellraiser, the remake, or his own version of it. I think there's a lot of talent in the horror space. Look at Smile and Zach. What's the kid's name? He's got tons of talent. Can't wait for Smile 2. A lot of Ari Aster before he went Beau is Afraid. You look at that genre and there's a lot of cool people working in that space and coming out of that space. And I hope that the people that started in that space always remember the roots and come back to it. When you look at, even Rose Glass, I think when you look at where she was on St. Maud and then she goes on to Love Lies Bleeding, I wouldn't mind if she went back a little bit more towards the psychological horror realm. I think she can do anything. I love Rose Glass. I think she's one of the most important directors to watch over the next several years. If you told me who are 3 directors to watch, Rose Glass is number 1. I'm going to go back and I'm going to give you, obviously, from After Sun, Charlotte Wells, and then I'm going to go with maybe a Bruckner. There's a lot of really cool, obviously, I really like Emily the Criminal. You look at John Patton Ford. There's a lot of young, talented directors, but I hope that the people that started in horror stay in horror. And I can't wait. Yeah, listen, Danny Boyle, we've talked about this so often, Satvik, is when you look at 28 days later, 28 weeks later for me, in this case, 28 months later, or wherever this is going, Danny Boyle is one of the most talented directors that we have, period. If you look at his filmography and his ability to change genres and to continue to excel within whatever he does, one of my favorite films, always bring this film up. If you haven't watched it, it's always an MMT must-see, is Millions. I adore Millions, and if you want to see direction and you see somebody early in their career with that, that's Danny Boyle. You go back and look at what's the Beatles one? Whatever the Beatles movie is, that one would be terrible if it were not directed by Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle makes the film. He Knows You're Alone. That's a great 80s movie. Yeah, there's a ton, Dieter. There are so many really talented young directors coming up. And I think that's the hope in the future, is that we get more great films. The fear here tonight is the fact that when I go back and I look at my tweet here from the lobby, it's the reality is that we're going to start losing movie theaters. We're going to start losing a lot of them. Not a few. There's going to be a lot of movie theaters that are going to be leaving us because it is going to contract. And until these CEOs go and get these windows locked down again, we're fucked. I mean, we really are. And yesterday, thank you. I knew it was the Beatles song. Like tomorrow is a day. But guys, yeah, Sunshine, all of those films, Slumdog Millionaire, obviously 120. He has the most varied skill at changing genres and still being great within whatever genre he works in. That's rare for a director to be able to do multiple genres and do them all exceedingly well. And that is where it is. I can't wait for the Substance either. Substance is getting great buzz out of Cannes. Cannes would be the one film festival that if you ask me which one would I go to Cannes, because those are my kind of movies. Weird. I like strange stuff, and that's why tonight I give you a marginal recommend on In a Violent Nature, because it is, again, just what I said, experimental and weird, and I want to see more of that, not Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I saw a comment here, someone saying I saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and it's terrible. I fell asleep. Thank you for paying attention to what the movie that I watched. I saw Apes Day, Life of Brian. Fell asleep twice. Didn't get interesting until the human joined them, and didn't get good until the third. I don't think it ever got good. It's not a great film, and I'm judging people based on that. I am 100% basing my judgment of you if you like that film. AMC Burbank was packed every day last summer, and now it's dead. This is summer, guys. This is after Memorial Day weekend. Kids are largely out of school. What's going on? Exactly. Thank you, Dan. And I know all the AMC people get so angry with Weber. You're not a real I'm not a cheerleader. I'm never going to be a cheerleader. It's not my job. It's not my function. My function is to be a journalist and to be an evaluator and to be objective and to tell you that your CEO sucks balls and he's not doing shit about protecting his theaters. I don't even understand how a guy gets paid $20+ million a year to sit on his ass when tomorrow I would walk in, get all the studios on the phone and say, we're doing a 45/60-day window starting August 1st. This guy's making $25 million. He's in a steakhouse tonight on his fifth martini. I'm sitting here on a YouTube channel on a Thursday night trying to save theatrical. Which one of us loves movies more? You're damn right. You're damn right. I'd do it for 1/25 the money. I'd do for 1 million. I mean, that's not all right. That's fair. There's a lot of cool films coming. I can't wait to see Cuckoo. You guys know how much I love Lose. I've talked about Lose. I'm not Johnny come lately on this shit. I go back and I look at Lose, which is his first film. That film rocked. That film was weird as shit. And I go, this guy, singer, Talman Singer, right? I go, this guy's going to be something. And boom, here it is, Cuckoo. And here he is working with Neon. Listen, you all can say this, and this about Weber, and you'll probably be right. But the number one thing I'm the best at, nobody does it better, is identifying talent. If I were a scout, I would be the head scout in Moneyball. I wouldn't be one of those old guys saying he looks like Fabio. I'd be telling you the truth. I've told you a million times, I am Jonah Hill from Moneyball. That's who I am. I will hook you up and I will he had at least 5, probably 6 or 7. Good God. Someone do me a favor, one of you. Clip what I just said about Adam Aron and make it go viral. That guy is useless. I can't believe a guy gets paid $25 million to do jack shit. That's why this country's so fucked. We have so many people and jobs that don't do shit. I'm sitting here trying to save cinema on a YouTube channel. The Riddler's channel from the Batman. I can't do it. I can try, but it's never going to happen. I don't have the power. I don't make $25 million. I'm not the CEO of AMC, who's not even checked in tonight, not even paying attention, won't even see my tweet about the state of despair that he should be in because his cinemas are dying. No. He wants to go have another ribeye and his 7th martini. Who loves cinema? Not that guy. That guy loves money. I love cinema. Big difference. I don't give a shit about money. Yeah, I want to pay my rent. I want to have a place to cook my meals. I want to shower. I want a bed. But I don't need $25 million. I'd rather have cinema survive. And that's the truth. Which is, I know you guys are like, oh, no. You don't understand. You want 25 million, Weber, or do you want to see cinemas live forever? Cinemas. It's not even a question. It's over. End discussion. Because one is legacy. The other one's money. I don't know how people aren't built like that. We have so many people in this world that are built fucked. They have the wrong things that they are striving for. They have the wrong morals. They get corrupt. I don't know why people are weak. I don't know why people are so power hungry. They're weak because they don't want to be, told, you're going to critique somebody. You can't do that. It's mean. Remember, that's what got Trump in trouble. Oh, watch out, Weber's gonna. That's what got Trump in trouble. Trump says mean things. We can't have that. We can't have someone tweeting mean words. We can't have somebody doing that. Weber, you can't say these things about Adam Aron. He's a gentleman. What? I can say whatever the fuck I want, first of all. Second of all, if someone says mean things, when we were Gen Xers, that's what we did. People said mean things to each other to their face, and then we got in fist fights. That's how we grew up. Sorry. I don't know. This generation, this pathetic Generation Z, the weakest ass, no fucking backbone. If someone's talking shit, move on. Figure it out. You don't get to say, oh, my feelings are hurt. I need a safe space. Suck it up, nut job. Fucking A. There's so many weak people in this world. So tired of it, man. Thank you, Hamza. Let's get on to something else. By the way, tonight's kit I picked because if you notice, it looks like there's blood splattered on this one. Do you guys see it? This is Tijuana from Liga MX. And this, do you not see the blood spatter? Do you see how these things come together? These things are not just random. These things are planned. Actually, I reached into the 100+ kits and I said, which one looks violent? This one has blood on it. Let's go with Tijuana. I love, first of all, you got the Chihuahua. Club Tijuana, I could go to one of their games. In fact, that's what I should be doing instead of doing these streams and ranting and railing about AMC. I should be at a Tijuana game, enjoying myself, trying to survive in Mexico. Oh, guys, the problem with me, I have too much passion. Cinema Cola, I'm new here. I love your unfiltered opinion and your defense for Furiosa. Also loved In a Violent Nature. Thanks for being here. Listen, if there's one thing this channel is we are anti-everything a Chris Stuckman. Well, I think that everything is okay and everything. When's the first time that guy's ever said anything edgy or anything remotely like you really feel? Talk about a guy who wants to be part of Hollywood. Here's my new movie. What's the name of his movie? It's literally the worst title. I if you were to present me with 10 titles for his movie, what's it called? Green Acres? What's the name of his film? It's like, why would you pick that? I sometimes think that people have no clue and no taste. They do things you go, why did you pick? How did someone not tell you this is? All the time I watch these movies, I go, how do you not? Someone tell you this is terrible? Stuckman makes me angry because of so many reasons. The fact he's been doing this a lot longer than me, but more importantly, the fact that he has 100,000 times the audience that we have. That guy, that milquetoast, boring ass, I'll stop there, person has 100 times and literally making his movie Green Eggs and Ham. What's it called? Shelby Wokes. Freddie, welcome back. Listen, the problem if I got into a boxing match with Stuckman is that I couldn't do any damage by punching his gut. That would be... This show is unhinged. Shady Pines. I think that might be it. We're getting closer. Shelby Oaks. Guys, seriously, if I were to ask you what's the worst title for a movie ever, you'd be like, well, have you ever thought of something like, I don't know, Shelby Oaks? They're like, oh, yeah, that would be one of them. I can't believe Stuckman got Mike Flanagan's company producing. Mike Flanagan's going to do the new Exorcist. You guys see at the bottom, by the way, if I don't get to some of this stuff, this is all you need to see. At the bottom of the screen, I have a crawl with all of the news of the day in big news. And yes, Mike Flanagan's going to take over Exorcist because you all did Exorcist Believe It wrong. It's not a bad film. I think it's actually a very good film. Screw all you all. I don't care. I'm not going to do it. Let's see. I'll go a few more here, and then I'm going to go. It's already half an hour. I wanted to go like 15 minutes, and I already went off on like 10 minutes on Adam Aron, plus another 5, and unbelievable. Off topic, do you like assigned seating in those huge leather chairs? I like the reclining chairs. That's why I don't often go to the 16 as much, because the 16 has the leather chairs, but they're not recliners. The 6 and the 8 here in Burbank have the recliners, so I'd rather wait to sit in the recliner because it's always a better experience in the recliner. It doesn't matter what it is. I mean, I saw Asphalt City. That's for you, my friends out there who say I get paid every time that I say that. Asphalt City twice in recliners, and it was better both times. Let's see what else we have. It really sucks. I remember the days when Stuckman used to go off on a bad film and be passionate. It's sad, Edward. Welcome to the channel, by the way, Edward. It's sad because I don't know what happens to people, but I will never change for me. Because here's the thing. Stuckman wants to be part of Hollywood. And when you want to be part of Hollywood, he can't do those things. He can't trash movies. I don't want any part of Hollywood. I don't give a fuck about Hollywood. They had opportunities. I've told them multiple times, let me see your stupid ass test cut and I'll tell you this film's bad. And I'll be right every time. But they don't want to do that because their egos are so big. They think they're so great. The problem with Hollywood is the majority of the people that think they're so great aren't. It's like going to the gym and seeing a guy who's not in shape taking his shirt off. I'm like, dude, put your shirt on. You haven't earned the right to take your shirt off, for fuck's sake. There's something weird about people. They're not honest with who they are. I'm honest. We have the Riddler's channel from the Batman. It'll always be a cult little weird fucking channel. I don't care if it even gets big. It'll always be cult. It'll always be weird. And I'll never pull back and I'll never hold back. But the difference is Stuckman wants to be liked by Hollywood. Mike Flanagan, will you like me and produce my movie? Oh, Paramount, can I work with you for my next movie? Warman Theater. I mean, help me think of a worse title than Shelby Oaks. The Shelby Oaks sequel. Help me. I've got it. It's so hard to come up with something worse than Shelby Oaks. Anybody who comes up, I will give you something from my FYC grab bag of junk if you come up with something worse than Shelby Oaks. I know IMAX doesn't have reclining seats, Aaliyah. Asphalt City was really cool. Thank you, Seeking Gods, for watching the movie that I've only pushed harder than any film maybe in the history of this channel. Asphalt City, that's now available on digital because the direction's awesome and it's grounded, it's gritty, it's gross, it's everything I love in a movie. It's New York City. Thank you, Asali. It was for you. Every time. Passion Pines, that's good. The Ghost and the Mr. Chicken, that's a good one too. Belvedere Dimwits. These are all very similar to Shelby Oaks. Bloody, gory, and wait, what is this? Hold on. Bloody, gory, and strangely relaxing. Yes, it's true. 100% Blue Fox. Yes, that's what I said. It's oddly relaxing. Asphalt Acres. Deadly Lane is the Shelby Oaks sequel. Edward, thank you for that. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Bleecker Street going wide with Ezra. Yes, this weekend's terrible. Listen, you got Ezra, you got the old woman, the young woman in the sea, and the remake of the Naiad movie. And then you've also got this A Violent Nature. These are all small. Bleecker Street and IFC and Disney. They're all small studios. I want a like for that, and someone cut that and send it to Disney. It's a weekend of indies this weekend with Disney releasing a film. Seriously, Disney is like so far down from where they used to be, right? If they used to be a 10 and now they're like a 3 at the bar who nobody even wants to take home at the end of the night, even though everyone's sloshed. Like, nah, I'm still not going home with Disney. Fuck Disney. No. But in the 90s, oh my God. You know what? It's kind of like who was a big 90s star and then really went to hell. Oh God, this is going to get me in trouble, but I'm going to say Disney is the Yasmin Bleeth of studios now. That is the single best moment in the history of MMT. If anybody got what I just said, that makes me the king of YouTube channels for eternity, calling Disney the Yasmin Bleeth of studios. Good in the 90s and horrible in 2024. I just listen. It's not meant to be mean. It's a comedic way, guys. It's like Ricky Gervais doesn't hold back. What do you want me to do? I can't do this shit. Young Woman in the Sea director doing the new Tron. Hey, listen, Young Woman in the Sea looks like it's capably directed. It looks like it has a nice cinematography and a nice feel to it. The problem is nobody wants to see that movie. This is not 1997. What was Disney even thinking greenlighting that movie? I mean, I'm telling you, honest to God, Disney is fucking clueless when it comes to greenlighting movies. They greenlit The Dial of Disaster. Can you imagine looking at that script and saying, this is the movie we're going to make? I mean, good God. I mean, that was truly the worst version of bringing Indiana Jones back that you could ever write. That's what happens so often with these films. We're getting the worst version of a film. Worst version of a film. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, very close to the worst version of that film. The Fall Guy, close to the worst version of that film. Do you see the problem? The writing's so bad, we're getting terrible movies and terrible versions of what should be good. If I gave you a scenario, here's my scenario, XYZ, and then write the script, and then you come back and give me the worst possible XYZ story, that's what we're at. We're literally living in the world where every fucking film is the worst version that it could possibly be, because we have a bunch of people at the studios who are talentless, that were put there because of nepotism, because they banged somebody, because they checked a box. Oh yeah, let's hire someone because the color of their skin versus their talent. What? Who thinks like that? Good God, that's how you destroy something. Let's hire people based on how they look, unless you're selling like a model. There's no, are you talented? Can you write? I don't care if you grew up in the West Indies. It doesn't matter. Can you write? I don't care if you grew up in Columbus, Ohio. Can you write? It doesn't matter. Good God. Every time we do that. And no one's ever come after me. I always do that same rant, and no one ever goes, and they're like, yeah, Weber's right. I don't know what to do. Even the hater. There's lots of haters. Oh, Weber's mean. Oh, really? Well, what was the wrong? Oh, they can't. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say because he's right. Shit. He said it mean. He was mean. He attacked a woman. Therefore, he said Yasmin Bleeth that's what will happen. And I just laughed. No, hey, I didn't say that. Wing it T. I didn't say that. All right, couple more minutes. I feel like now it's an open mic at a comedy club and I'm bombing. But that's pretty much every single night here. Asphalt shitty. Watch it. I'll ban you, Sully. I know you're making a joke. It's not a funny joke. I want to see if I missed any super chats because I'll get in trouble for somebody. I don't know who. Remember, I'll take a picture of the super chat and use it next time if I don't. All right. Hey, Tyler, thanks for watching. I missed you. You were the very first one in here. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it. I didn't see you tonight. Didn't see anybody there. Look, there it is. AMC on a Thursday night. Completely dead. Nobody wants to see these movies, and I don't blame them. Disney just rolls their eyes at you. They still invite. No, they didn't invite me to the studio anytime soon, Aaliyah. And the funny thing is I've done it all, right? I've done all the studios. Like, they just had the press screening for Bike Riders. They didn't invite me. And I've done so many great things for Focus. But the reality is I don't even want to drive. Like, I've told you guys, I'm going to say it again. I hope that some of my boys in LA are watching, because I'm going to attack you right now because I like it when you listen. I don't know why these people drive all over LA to watch these movies early. It makes no sense. They don't even have an audience. These people don't even have a YouTube channel. They have nothing. I mean, we have the Riddler's channel from the Batman. We have something. It's not much, but we have some of these people have nothing. They have a tweet. They don't even have a publication. They don't have they have nothing. And they drive and take time out of their day to drive over to Century City, 45 minutes one way, 45 minutes back, to see a movie on a Tuesday or 3 weeks early that comes out. Who cares? I'll see Bike Riders when it comes out. So, Aaliyah, I don't care if Disney invites me to another movie. I'll see Deadpool Wolverine with all of you. It makes it easier for me, because then whenever I do one of those reaction streams, you all go, well, you're ruining it. Well, once you've seen it, I can do whatever I want. So when you don't care about the studios, but yet the studios certainly are aware of what I do, trust me, God, you don't even know. You don't even know the number of DMs, the number of things that I get from people in the business that come back and say, I had a guy that I dragged the other day try to text me. And I go, dude, don't text me. Here's what I got to say. It's like the girl on the Dr. Phil show. Cash me outside. Cash me outside. Cash me outside. Seriously. You don't want any of this shit. Don't make, because I'm going to have to remind these bitches one more time. Some of us don't look like the Pillsbury Doughboy, bruh. Some of us don't look like the Pillsbury Doughboy. So don't roll up all like that. It ain't built like that here. Things are different here. Shit's different here. So don't fucking do that shit. That's what they hate. They hate that. And that's what I love to keep showing it. Boom, it's gone. Yeah, sorry, I don't. It's to remind those people, ain't the same, baby. Ain't the same. One of us is fearless. One of us does shit. One of us backs what we talk about. One of us knows what we're talking about. And one of us has talent. The other person has none of those things. I'm a 5-tool film evaluator. You guys are just tools. That's another quote for the wall. And if you watch Moneyball, you give me some love for that. I am a 5-tool movie evaluator. The rest of them are just tools. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, did I miss it? Dex Wilso, cash me outside. How about that? I'm sorry, cash me outside. How about that? There we go. Was that good? I can do that. I mean, we started this channel by me going, practice. We're talking about practice. So I can do that. I still hope Shelby Oaks will turn out good. Redemption arc for Chris. Dieter, there's no redemption arc. He's already sold his soul to Hollywood.
Please like me. I want to make movies with you. I'm going to hang out with all of you at your parties.
I've done the parties. I've been to the Hollywood Hills. I've done those things. They're boring, pretentious people. Boring. They really are. And I would much rather spend time here going off and having you guys maybe semi kind of maybe tolerate it than sit up there in the hills and what people sit around with their drinks going, oh no, who's that over there? Is that person? Can they help me with my career? Oh, hi. What do you do? Oh, you're only a movie critic? Well, then I'm sorry, I can't talk to you. Oh, you're a producer? Well, hello. I happen to be an actress. Oh yeah, do you need anybody for your next film? Wink, wink. That's what it's like. This show, the funny thing is, if you tuned in, you'd be like, this guy's high or he's drunk. Nope, neither of those things. I'm just weird. I'll tell you. Thank you. No, seriously, these people are all, they're just superficial, one-dimensional, uninteresting people. They really are. And not everybody, but most people, they're all about what can you do for me? How can you help me in my career? It's so weird. I've seen it happen so many times where I even have a friend I don't really talk to anymore. I wouldn't even say a friend. Okay, acquaintance. Who you'd be talking and all of a sudden he'd look around like, is there someone else I can talk to that's better? Is there someone, hold on, I think I'll be seeing him in. I'm going to go over there. That's how it is this time. Oh, I'm going to go. And that's why a lot of these film people, they feel important by going to the parties because they're nobodies. Listen, that's the reality. The reality is, the majority of people in the film space are frankly nobodies. And I'm not saying I'm somebody, but I can promise you this. More people know me from me and me being outspoken and being accurate and being hardcore about this shit than the majority of these people who are shills, who have no talent, who have no outlet, and wouldn't even know how to be authentic if it hit them in the ass because they don't have that. They have a fake, untalented, they don't bring anything to the table. How can you have anything to offer if you don't have any talent? That's most of these people in the space. They're not even good at it. They would just come out and say, what's everyone else saying? There's a guy, I'm not going to say who it is because I've talked to him. I don't really hate the guy, but there's a guy who literally goes to film festivals and I've been told looks at other people's reactions and then pieces together his reaction based on theirs. I have never, ever done that. In fact, I don't want to know what anyone said about anything. In a Violent Nature, I called it Skin and Rank Friday the 13th. If someone else said that, trust me when I say this, I didn't see it. I don't bother with that shit. That's thinking of film. I will literally bounce you for saying my acting skills. I was the best number 2 henchman ever in the history of NCIS. Trust me. Did you just wait and find the episode? Did you see the trailer of the new Crow film? I saw it at the theater. It looked okay. I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. Favorite slasher films. Go back to the films I grew up with. Halloween, Friday the 13th. I always go back to Motel Hell. At the end, he's gardening people and they're in the garden, right? And he's got the vocal cord slit. It's just one of those weird, no one ever talks about Motel Hell or My Bloody Valentine or Humanoids from the Deep. We talked about that with Roger Corman. A lot of those, there's so many more that if I had a list in front of me, 80s horror films, there's so many obvious ones. I'm trying to find like the smaller, weirder ones. Extra, that's a cool, weird movie, right? Basket Case, on and on and on. all those weird ass films. I was funny. I was listening to Siskel and Ebert destroy. Well, actually, Ebert destroy Friday the 13th, calling it completely anti-humanity. And I'm like, well, that sounds like I would love to hear what he has to say about Terrifier. If he thought that was bad, Terrifier. Oh, this is close. Prom Night, good call, Paul. Good call. Prom Night, cool film. Obviously, Carrie, yes. That's kind of obvious though. I'm Black Christmas, 100%. Yeah, those are good. Cujo, but those are kind of like once you get into Stephen King, that's kind of like the obvious. I'm looking for like the B movie horror, like Extra, right? Weird. Basket Case. There's definitely more. I said Motel Hell. Humanoids from the Deep. Come on, help me. Come on, give me some more. You know, those weird like early 80s to like 85. Fright Night, kind of a bigger movie, but I like Fright Night. Night of the Creeps, obviously all of the Night of the Living Dead films. I like Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead's awesome, right? That's Romero, and that is at the mall. That's a cool film because that's super violent, but also takes its time, kind of like In a Violent Nature. It's got this kind of, right? They're in the mall. It's got the weird commercial thing going on. And then it's also got just the horrific, let's get out of this mall. I love that film. That's a film no one talks about. Sleepaway Camp. Thank you. I was thinking about Slumber Camp Massacre. It was a Sleepaway Camp. That's the one that turned into the Funny Games is totally and absolutely hard to watch. I don't like watching films like that because they feel real, right? Even Strangers, the first one, feels more. This film's terrible. Strangers terrible. Let's do an MTC check. Let's just see how dead theaters are here tonight. Give me a second. And we'll do that since we usually do that on a Thursday. I've already gone. Might as well just keep going for an hour. You're like, you talk about this movie for an hour? I mean, at this point, might as well just go. Let's check and see what's playing here tonight at AMC. A bunch of garbage, except for Furiosa. Furiosa's great. Okay, let's check and see how Furiosa looks tonight. Dolby, that's late, 10:30. I mean, nobody in there. Look, it's dead. All right, let's check out In a Violent Nature. Hold on, let me go back. In a Violent Nature probably has like a 10:35. Look, that's like my screening tonight, and that's at AMC Burbank, which should be better than that. So it's not good, man. Guys, we're screwed. But don't forget that your CEO is having a great time tonight at that steakhouse on the Hamptons. Now I believe it's Martini number 9. That's what he does. That's what he does with $25 million. The rest of us are here trying to save cinema on YouTube. But he'd rather be hanging out with his rich buddies doing his thing rather than watching In a Violent Nature. I bet you if you asked Adam Aron, what is In a Violent Nature? He'd be like, I have no idea. What are you talking about? In a Violent Nature? What's In a Violent Nature? I bet you he wouldn't know what it is. Someone asked, Saturday the 14th. Oh my God, Madman, yes. Assigned seats. Wait, for what? Oh, for this. April Fool's Day, good call. Massacre at Central High, didn't see it. Alligator, absolutely. Oh my God. What was the other one? There's another one. Chud. Cannibal Humanoid Underground Dwellers. Dude, give me a like for that. That came out of nowhere. I have not said Chud since 1981. Cannibal Humanoid Underground Dwellers. Chud. Thank you. That is an all-time. First of all, Yasmin Bleeth and Chud. Best stream ever. I didn't expect it tonight. I expected to talk about In a Violent Nature, and then I railed on AMC. Now we're talking about Chud. That's the magic of this channel. No one can touch it. None of them. Nerdrotic, gore, none of them. None of them can touch this shit. None of them. They have to have 1,000 other people on the screen. Here's 50 other people. Nope, Weber just will talk for an hour. That's all. Don't even need the other boxes. I should create a thing with like 20 other boxes and just me. Like it looks like Family Feud. No, what was it? Tic-tac-toe. What was the one where the one where the people were in the squares like tic-tac-toe? Chud Rock. What's Chud? Let's watch the Chud trailer. They're not going to get us in trouble. They can't come after us for watching the Chud trailer. Do you think that they're going to hit us with a copyright thing for that? Hold on. Oh, here we go, baby. Let's go. You guys ready? That sounded a little bit like, hold on. A bit like our boy Soups, and I apologize for that because I don't ever want to be called Soup. All right, here we go. You guys ready? This is Chud. It was 1984. Shit, I said 81. Here we go. Let's watch a little of the Chud trailer. Check out how old this trailer is. This is awesome. How many views does this have, by the way? Real quick, let me see. It has 104,000 views. That's not too bad. Certainly more than we've ever had on a video. Oh, shit. This is going to bring us...
Beneath the city of New York are living catacombs, an endless maze of subterranean tunnels, unfit for anything human.
Oh shit, I'm gonna have nightmares.
Unauthorized for anything experimental.
Hold it! There's something moving up ahead at the top!
And unlikely to bring anyone down there.
How great was the voiceover, by the way, in trailers?
So, they're coming.
I remember that. The dog got eaten. There it is. You see it? Like a lizard person.
Chud, check your basement and your bathroom. Keep off the street and try to hide. But remember, the dark is their place. The night is their time.
There, they did it like the slow-mo when he broke in. Hold on, let me see if I can get a good shot.
And tomorrow, the only things living in the city of New York will be Chud.
There he is. Look, see? Look at that thing. Dude, if you have nightmares, remember, not my fault. Not my fault that you saw the Chud, and tonight at like 4 a.m, don't say that, Gone Girl. It might be cheesy, but don't say it out loud. You're disrespecting and disparaging the Funhouse's awesome Animotion, awesome film. God, Toby Hooper, right? Love that film. And the creature in there. The creature, the double creature. Was it 2 creatures? I don't remember. There's Chud. Waxwork, Rabid, Maryland Chambers, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, 100%. All the Trauma films. I don't think that was Trauma, was it? So many good films. Hollywood Squares, thank you, Darren. Good God. I hate when I'm trying to do this live and all of a sudden I'm pretty good, though, at bringing it. Like, I remember Chud. Chud's scary as shit, man. I had nightmares. I was just a little kid. I was like, what the fuck is that shit? That shit came out of the sewer? Are those things in the sewer? And my mom didn't even know I watched Chud. I watched Chud down at my friend's Mike's house. Mike had all these R-rated movies because he had cable. He was one of the first guys in Columbus, Ohio to have cable. And he had Chud. And I was like, damn, man. And then I couldn't tell my parents that I saw Chud. Like, where did you see Chud? Like, I didn't see Chud. I don't even know why I'm scared of underground lizard humanoid people. I don't know why, Mom. I have no idea why. I just am tonight, so don't question me as to where this nightmare originated. Shout out to Mike Allen. Mike Allen was my boy who had cable down the street. Oh, my God. We should have Mike on sometime. Puppet Master. Critters was a ripoff of Gremlins, no question. But Chud's scary, isn't it? 100%. If we get hit with a copyright strike for that shit, I swear to God. I mean, at this point, the gate, good call. The gate's a good. You guys are good at this. Damn, man. I'm having all these flashbacks. We're almost up on an hour. We'll come back Sunday night and have more fun. Listen, I only wanted to come on and rail on AMC and death of theaters and talk about a violent nature. And then we turned out to an hour of just random bullshit. This is the story of this channel. Oh, by the way, on Sunday, we are going to absolutely roast Sean Fennessy. I can't wait. I found some video and we are going to roast him because what did I always talk about with this channel? Do you see me reading from a thing? I am reading your comments. I am not reading shit from here. Nothing's here. There ain't no wires. I don't have it. Fennessy is fucking reading from his computer. Dude, I told you he's a fraud. Sean Fennessy will be our first ever MMT film fraud coming up on Sunday. I look forward to bestowing that honor upon him because, my God, I'm telling you guys, so many people could never do what we do here because we do weird shit, and I thank you for being part of whatever this is. Oh, yeah, that's right. The Riddler's channel from the Batman. As always, peace out. I'll see you back here on Sunday. No Friday night emergency stream. Obviously, Sunday box office. But listen, there's nothing going on this weekend. Theaters are screwed. AMC, get your CEO in there and have him talk to these studios and get these windows locked down now because theaters are in trouble. We'll talk about it more Sunday night. Good night. Live from LA. Peace out. Chud, y'all. Go